The deportations have started under the Trump administration, and this week the administration revoked temporary protected status for more than 600,000 immigrants. Oregon is a sanctuary state and Portland is a sanctuary city, so large-scale deportations won't happen here. Or could they? Here to talk about the current climate for immigrants, both legal and illegal, is Pastor Mark Knutson of Portland's Augustana Lutheran Church and chair of Lift Every Voice Oregon. So thank you very much, Pastor, for being here on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you, Ken, for having us on.
Well, Augustana has been a sanctuary congregation for almost 30 years, and you're offering sanctuary now. Do you expect anyone to take you up on that offer, or has that happened already?
We've had many conversations, but going into sanctuary is not a fun thing to do. You can't leave the place, you're there. So we're ready to do that when the time comes, but we hope that doesn't have to happen. But we do want the community to know we are. That's why we've been one for 30 years since I first got there, because that gives a sign of hope. We can go to events where people are worried about deportation. They know there's a place. They might not need to use it, but they certainly know. And after going to Centennial High School the other night and being with grant students last night around a jazz piece, they're putting signs in their schools now about not being safe and what to do if ICE comes in. And plus fire drills and gun drills and all the rest, this is not right.
Yeah. Local law enforcement and political leaders have already said they will not cooperate with federal agents, including ICE, that try to arrest and deport. So why are people here worried?
You don't know. I've been to ICE many times with people. It's a scary office to go into over on McAdam. You don't know what's going to happen with this new administration. They made the threats. You got to believe what they say. And so the fear factor is tremendous. People, we have 21 nations of birth in our congregation. We have lots of, we have nonprofits that are Latino. But it's not just Latinos, it's Haitians. It's, you start talking countries where people are from who are afraid. Fear is one of the most insidious things to use as a tactic. And that's what we're seeing. We talked about false alarms the other day, right, on the phone. And so you start spreading fear, people won't go to work. They're afraid to drop their child off at school. When a parent is being cared for by somebody and they can't get out of bed, and if that relative goes to Rite Aid and gets arrested, or Walgreens, whatever, I don't want to push any store, and gets arrested, that person could lay in bed by themselves for days and weeks to come and die. Or the child at school, you and I would plan to pick up our kids or have somebody pick them up if we couldn't do it. You could drop your child off, get arrested, that child's going to stand out there, where's my parent? Mark Hatfield once said, I think, I can't quote him exactly, a good Republican senator, respected him greatly. You can't talk millions, you have to talk one. And so I hope everybody goes deep in the stories of friends and individuals who are siblings in the state, not somebody else. They're part of who we are, and from a theological standpoint, we're all related.
Other than providing a place, what else are you doing, and what other organizations are you working with on this issue?
In Oregon, Lift Every Voice and immigration, other issues, we work closely interfaith. Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, Native American spiritual leaders, Christians, people of goodwill have worked really closely together for a long time. So our networks we're all at work right now. And we have Latino members who are doing trainings in the community, know your rights, defense trainings of neighborhoods. And we're getting grants for that too. So there's a lot happening. What you do in times like these, you organize, you strategize, and then you mobilize. And last Sunday night was one of the first mobilizations. And we want that story to go all the way to Washington, D.C., which it has. We want them to know in the West, people of faith and people of goodwill for great moral convictions are not going to let our neighbors be unjustly arrested or victims of vicious laws. And as Dr. King said, when he's asked in the Birmingham jail, how can you oppose some laws and look for others? He said, well, there's good laws and there's bad laws. And like St. Augustine, the Bishop of North Africa, said, 3rd century, an unjust law is no law at all. So we have to stand up with moral authority to laws that are damaging and are vicious towards human beings and racist, too.
What did you think of the Lake and Riley decision?
What a shame. I'm sorry. The whole incident was terrible, what happened, in terms of but in terms of creating a law that's going to target people, no. What it does is setting up again certain parts of our population to be targeted. And that is not right. So, I hope and pray that our administration knows their scriptures. I know your viewers do. I know Republicans, Democrats, Green, Independents who understand their scriptures if they're whatever tradition they come out of. And the Christian, all of our traditions talk about love, and it talks about love your Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, your neighbors, yourself. It doesn't talk about hate. And it doesn't talk about damaging. It talks about when God gets angry, when the poor, the person new to the land, the mother, the child are trampled upon by the rich and the mighty. That's when God gets upset. And everything we have in Scripture talks about an ethic of love. That's how I'm coming at this in our church and our community. Even those we disagree with, we cannot hate, but we can certainly challenge what they're doing that are hurting other people.
We've only got about 30 seconds
Oh,
left,
my
but
goodness.
I do want to ask you this question. Don't you believe that the southern border should be secured and people who don't have the legal right to be here should not be here?
You know, we've been talking about pathway to citizenship for 30 years. All the mainline traditions, Roman Catholic, Lutheran, Presbyterian, I'll leave somebody out, Methodist, have been in the Capitol for 30 years saying we need a generous policy of immigration. We need a pathway to citizenship for those who are here. And if you read it, if we did that, we wouldn't have these issues at the border right now, because there'd be a way to do it.
And we have to end it right there, unfortunately, Pastor. But thank you very much for being here on Eye on Northwest Politics and bringing this very important issue to light.
Ken, we respect and honor your work so much. Thank you for having us.